Hey guys, it's Lord here, back in with, what was I doing again? Alright, Saturday morning cartoons, and today we'll be taking a look at Savage Dragon. Let's get into it. Alrighty guys, now as I said before, today we're having a look at Savage Dragon. I actually know a little bit more about this show than Wildcats, only because the cast is actually pretty freaking good. Let's see, you got Jim Cummings as Savage Dragon. That's always good. You got Jeff Bennett as Barbaric, big jacked red dude. That's pretty cool. Jennifer Hale as She Dragon. Again, pretty cool. And then Tony J as Overlord. Alright, you know what? I'm done. I'm done. Sorry. I can't do this anymore. I'm done. I'm done. Done. Laters. Okay, I'm not done, but seriously. um, that's the part, the downside of having a sadistic purple face. Glasses don't exactly work very well. So, with that being said, the cast. I've never seen such a stacked cast of everyone I enjoy on this list. You got Jeff Bennett in there. He was in Gargoyles, of course, and Mighty Ducks, actually. Among other things, I believe he was Shocker in Spectacular Spider-Man. That's what I recall him doing as of late. Obviously, that show is long gone. It is actually kind of connected to Gargoyles because Greg Weisman wrote it and produced it. That's besides the point. Jennifer Hale, She Dragon, she's been in freaking everything. She was in, let's see, X-Men, Spider-Man, the animated series. Let me think here. Mighty Ducks again. Probably Gargoyles. I think she was Fox, actually, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me on that, though. For some reason, I want to say she was in Balto 2 Wolf Quest, only because she kind of, the fox in that movie kind of reminded me of her. But that's probably not her, and I'm just crazy. She's in Totally Spies. I know, I probably shouldn't be watching that. I believe she was Poison Ivy a couple of times. She was Black Cat a couple of times. I think she was also Wonder Woman as well. She does a lot. A lot. Okay. She was Princess in Powerpuff Girls, but we don't talk about that show. That show's stupid. To me, anyways. But, you got them. You got Tony J, Frollo, Anubis the God of Death, and, again in Mighty Ducks. Freaking. And Gargoyles, I do believe. Yeah, Gargoyles. He was Anubis, the God of Death. Mighty Ducks, he was the Wraith, the skeleton dragon guy. I remember him for those roles in Frollo and Hunchback. So, I do actually think he was in Balto. I think he was the old sheepdog there. Sounded just like him, anyways. Could be wrong. Then Jim Cummings. Let's see. Where do I start with him? I only voiced half my damn childhood. Well, mine and yours. For me, he was Imhotep, Monterey Jack, Steel from Balto, the ferryman guy, Jacques from Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island, amongst other things. And then, of course, he did Darkwing Duck. He did Dr. Eggman. He did. Another character in Gargoyles was Dr. Nexus or something. I don't know. It was some guy in the Illuminati. It's really weird. He was Dingo in Gargoyles as well. He was background voice work in almost everything. Gargoyles included, actually. And Mighty Ducks as well. But yeah, he's been in a lot of stuff. He only did Laugh Your Childhood. I'm just saying. The only thing the show doesn't have is Tim Curry, Keith David, and there's one more I'm forgetting. Rob Paulsen, because they were everywhere in the '90s. So you got that. But yeah, this show is actually really intense. The animation's pretty good. I'd say it's a little bit better than Wildcats. I don't know why, but I just have a feeling it is. Um, Unlike Wildcats, I do not have all the toys because they're psycho expensive and screwed high prices. That's right, eBay. I'm not gonna overpay for crap. Kiss it. Um, But yeah, the animation was pretty solid. The intro, I didn't care for the intro. The intro was just exposition, I believe, throughout the whole series. And the series, I think, was about 26 episodes, so say a season or two. That's about how long Mighty Ducks lasted. But yeah, so Savage Dragon, basic story, guy gets turned into, well, the Savage Dragon doesn't remember a damn thing beforehand. Um, but him and his partner, I believe he has a partner. It's been a couple years since I watched this show, but I'm doing the review anyways, just out of sheer love for corny 90s comic book shows. um, Come to think of it, I never did Spider Man or Batman on this channel. I know more about that just because it's Spider Man and Batman. Coming next week now. Next week will be Ultra Force, actually. We're going to delve into that mess. But with that being said, Savage Dragon and his partner, they fight various mutants. No, they call them freaks in the show. They're freaks. They fight various freaks. And I believe Overlord, the main villain, best name by the way, pretty cool looking guy. Wish they made a figure of him, but they didn't. Overlord's a pretty cool villain. I like him a lot. Tony J kind of helps with that. But yeah, overall it's really kind of like Wildcats. I assume they defeat Overlord in the last episode. Like I believe Dragon, Barbaric, and She Dragon and a bunch of cops just go and smoke him. But I haven't watched the finale. I think I've watched like 10 episodes, 6 to 10 episodes. Hard to watch cartoons nowadays, let me tell you. You can't find them on YouTube anymore because that's actually how I watch Gargoyles and Wildcats and season 2 of The Mummy. I do believe, and Mummy's Alive. I watched all that on there, and I think that was it. I can't remember if I watched anything else on there. I watched all of Tenacious D, The Pick of Destiny, but that's not a show. And if you're a child, you should not watch that movie until you're at least 13. So, with that being said, Savage Dragon, going back to Savage Dragon, it's pretty cool show. Is it perfect? I'm not gonna say because I haven't watched all of it. I've watched, like I said, a handful of episodes. Kind of like my All Dogs Go to Heaven, the series review. I only watched a handful of episodes. Wildcats, I actually finished that. Mummy's Alive, I finished that. The Mummy, I finished that. Gargoyles, I finished it more than once. Actually, no, I think I just watched like season 2 over and over and over again because I really like season 2. But that's besides the point. But Savage Dragon, take it with a grain of salt. It's a pretty decent show. I like it. Entertaining. It's got action. It's got a pretty decent story throughout each episode. A continuing one, Overlord's a jerk and he wants to turn everyone into freaks. Or mutants, as it were. Probably couldn't use mutant because I believe Marvel coined that. That and the X-Men show was going on at the same time, so it would have kind of been like, oh, is he in the same universe as X-Men? He's not. Um, but yes, that's about all I have to say for Savage Dragon. This is a quick one, most because I haven't watched all the show yet, so I can't spoil it. All I can tell you is the cast, the main four characters, to me anyways, um, really, really good. Really good choices. Savage Dragon, Jim Cummings does a fantastic job at that. Jennifer Hale is always awesome. Jeff Bennett, if you ignore the fact that half the characters he does are like Brooklyn from Gargoyles, I'm not kidding. Um, they have a similar voice. They're like Brooklyn. Yeah, from Brooklyn. Like a Italian sort of Brooklyn accent, which I guarantee you this dude's Italian, but somehow he was able to pull off a southern accent for Shocker and Spectacular Spider-Man. I don't know. But he does a good job. I like him. And then you also have Tony Jay, the late great Tony Jay, doing Overlord. He obviously does a fantastic job. It's freaking Tony Jay, for Christ's sake. So overall, I'm going to have to give this show an 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10, in between there, only because I haven't seen it all yet. If I'd seen it all, I'd be able to give you a more solid rating. But I believe if you Google it, you will find sites with full episodes that you can watch. I don't know if there's necessarily an order. I believe the pilot was a couple of parts, and I'm pretty sure the finale is too. Like I said, I don't know if there was more planned after the 26 episodes. All I can remember is 26 episodes, so just check it out. I think it's worth checking out, watching a couple episodes. You like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. It's one of those, if you like indie 90s comics, you'll probably like the show. But speaking of which, we need to move on to Ultra Force, which we will do next week. Oh, God. I like 90s shows a lot. This one was pretty ridiculous. Well, that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this week's edition of Saturday Morning Cartoons. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. All those buttons are down there. And until next time, I'll catch you guys later.